Back everyone, a diagnosis of Alzheimer's can really feel devastating, but experts say knowing early can really change what comes next. More than 7 million Americans are living with the disease, yet many people still don't know what the early stages can really look like. This morning, we're talking with HealthyWomen CEO Beth Battaglino and Kerry Dennis, who is living with early stage Alzheimer's. We're glad to have both of you with us this morning. So when we say early diagnosis, Beth, what are we talking about here? Fear or empowerment?
Definitely empowerment. We are launching a national campaign called This Is Alz. It's powered by Healthy Women to raise awareness about the earlier stages of Alzheimer's. Knowledge can be power.
And Beth, how do we talk about Alzheimer's honestly with our loved ones or anyone we know who may be going through this without making them feel that their life is over?
You know what, Kerry? Share your story.
Yeah. So I will say, when you get the diagnosis, it's big news. But I will say the one thing I'd like to say to anyone with diagnosis is that an early diagnosis is not the end. It's just the beginning of a different story. And an early diagnosis for me gave me the opportunity to get my affairs in order. So I look back at my mother and my grandmother that succumbed to the disease. And after they were diagnosed, it was too late for them to make their own decisions. So we spent a lot of time trying to guess what they would have wanted. And an early diagnosis for me meant I had the opportunity to not put that burden on my family, but to also make sure that the rest of my life is my choice, and the decisions that I may not be able to make in the future, I can make now.
That is so important, Kerry, just knowing early and planning early. But excuse me, when did you notice something started to feel different and you needed to go get help and get checked out?
Great question. Great question. I would say it was a few years ago, and at home it was the typical stuff, right, that you could kind of dismiss, the walking into a room and forgetting why you were there, or losing your keys or your phone. But at work, it was different. I worked in the financial services industry. I led a large department, and it was there that I really started noticing that something was wrong. So the things that were hard became harder, but much more alarming was the things that were supposed to be easy were getting harder. And when I think easy, it's something as simple as managing my calendar or writing an email. The emails became my nemesis, something that I used to do 100 a week, and something that used to take 3 minutes would take 20 minutes because I couldn't organize my thoughts.
Yeah, you were able to get it checked out early, which was so key. Beth, what role does stigma and fear play in people maybe putting off their care and delaying seeking help?
Well, we're seeing, especially with younger people, you can dismiss as Kerry said, you can dismiss the signs and symptoms and think that, and for many of us, we think of Alzheimer's as an older person's disease. And so we wanted to bring, through this campaign, we're raising awareness that Alzheimer's can be a younger person's disease. You may be living with this, you may be living with Alzheimer's and not even realize you may have the signs and symptoms. So bringing people forth who are sharing their stories and explaining how they were tested and some of the symptoms that they were going through is just sharing, so people can learn and live. And this can be, we're trying to destigmatize what it's like to live with earlier stages of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, and sharing those stories like you're doing this morning, so important. Beth, Kerry, thank you both for being with us this morning.
Yes, and please visit thisisalz.com for more information and to see other people's stories.
Absolutely, we will check that out. Thank you so much.